Hey all. So, yeah, if you could tell from the smile on my face, I fucking love this chapter. Like, I'm not even joking when I say everything, and I do mean everything about this chapter was absolutely perfect in my eyes, both in execution and how it stuck its landing. Because first off, the whole fight is basically the entire script being flipped on Izuku. All the experience he's gone through with Class A, everything he learned from them individually, and in turn anything he's taught them is now in this chapter being used against him. And no matter how much Izuku tries to run away, the reality he's being forced to face in this fight just keeps literally catching up to him, which is that no matter how strong he is, even now, the same constant has always been there. The combined effort and strength of Class 1A is what they can do together. It may sound cliche, but it is the fact that combined they are a strong unit. And it's something that but at the same time, it's something that his own fear won't allow him to admit. He's so consumed by the idea of just his friends being killed by All for One that he can't even acknowledge the reality. And Suyu coming in at the end with the most clutch speech ever is just laid it. I love how Suyu just laid it all on the table. Because honestly, no one but her would have been no one but her would have been perfect enough to deliver that speech, because she knows better than anyone else what it's like to be consumed by fear, insecurity, regret, sorrow. There's no one better than her to make Izuku realize, in order to realize this. The one who was saved from her own anguish by Class 1A. Like literally everything Izuku, like I'm almost positive that when it comes to Sue in this case, when she looks at Izuku, what she basically sees is the anguish, the regret, the sadness, all that she was feeling at the time, and possibly what she would have become had she not been saved, but by from the words of her classmates. That and that, but she's now seeing all of that, albeit amplified within Izuku. Like everything that everything she was everything Sue was feeling at after the whole all for one versus All Might incident. That's pretty much what she's seeing now in Izuku, and just like Izuku was there for her, she wants to be there for him. And again, I love it. This is so beautiful, honestly. And yeah, talking about the fight itself, I loved how it all played out, because it was not only as chaotic as you'd expect, but aside from a select few who we'll get into, each and every member of Class A got an individual moment in which they were able to not only appeal to Izuku and state their case of how he affected them individually, but also to showcase how they've grown themselves and are able to utilize their powers in ways that show how they know Izuku better than inside so well inside and out, better than he knows himself, to the point that it doesn't matter how strong he is, Izuku is an open book to them, and he's they spent that much time together. It shows in this fight. They've spent so much time together that they could literally predict everything and anything he will do. They've literally spent that much time together, and that's literally how they're able to so easily overwhelm him in this fight, despite Izuku having the more power. And like I said, there are a couple people I think I would have liked to see get their 2 cents in on Izuku, or just get time, or get like time with him, like, or get some time with him, like Ida, for example, because like for example Ida, because at the beginning of at the very beginning of the chapter you can tell that Ida's the one who's got the most to say and really wants to give Izuku a new one for this. But I get the reason why Horikoshi wanted to give everyone else their own personal moment with Izuku before getting to the people who actually know Izuku like the most personal and the most, because that's where Horikoshi's really gonna drive the point home. And I loved even more how the one time Izuku can't use future sense is when facing his friends, it doesn't matter how much of a facade because it shows that no matter how much of a facade Izuku may put on, the truth will always reveal itself in some form or another. And Todoroki, my man, basically coming in, freezing Izuku in that giant block of ice, and spitting back in Izuku's face the same thing that Izuku's told him time and time again. Maybe share your burden. Maybe share that burden you're carrying with the rest of us. Like, yes, yes. Oh God, that is the perfect thing to say. Like, yes, Izuku, share. Izuku, you're pretty much become exactly what you've become what you pretty much feared Todoroki becoming. And now that like for both Tsuyu and Todoroki, this is like looking into a mirror for them. And I love how of what they were or would have become. And just what Todoroki said there, it was just the perfect delivery, honestly. Like, yeah, Izuku, it's time to open up, bro. Now, with that being said, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those chapters that was so character focused on our main group, but in the back of my mind, I couldn't help but think, what's going on with All Might? Not helped by the fact that Horikoshi chose to dedicate a panel focused on an All Might statue during one of Izuku's escape attempts. And maybe that was just a bit of symbolism on Horikoshi's part, but the fact that he focused on it at all does make me more than a little concerned that while all this is happening, All Might's in a bit of tough spot. And I don't think, I'm not saying Horikoshi would kill All Might off panel, I don't believe that, but all this does kind of feel like the perfect setup for them to be sort of too little too late to save him if that does turn out to be the case, or just in general something feels like it's going to go completely wrong once this whole personal dispute is over and resolved with basically Izuku and the others. But yeah, it's like, but yeah, it's other than that, it's like I still pretty much will. But yeah, it's like, but other than that's really my only, I guess, major thing about it. Like everything else, it was just so. I think that's another thing I like about this chapter is it was so rich in character for a lot of these characters that we might have only gotten so little time that it's like, yeah, you can pretty much believe every word they're saying, everything Izuku has experienced, everything he's been through with Class A. It's all culminating in this moment. And honestly, I'm going to be playing a little bit of devil's advocate here because I know there are a lot of people who probably even to this day still don't like a lot of the more like class centric or school centric kind of moments within the series. I think this is the one. This is where all those moments culminate and come together beautifully. Because if it wasn't, I don't think if it wasn't for those moments at all, if we didn't have those moments at all, I don't think that this fight in general would be as effective as it was because of everything Class A has been through together, and I mean everything. Then I don't think it would have been as effective. But because Horikoshi has built it up with the class 1A, it is just as emotionally enthralling as it is, at least for me. So yeah, it's like I kind of attribute this chapter to basically only being possible because of everything we've experienced. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I've got for this review. If you enjoyed the video,
like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll, and be sure to hit the notification bell, subscribe, and just share the video around, guys. Death Knight signing off. Later.